Welcome to Joshua Tree Reptile Haven. In this bag, we have one of the fastest animals I've ever had to deal with. Here on the 10-acre facility that we have, we're outside a lot. And because we're outside and in the desert, we come across lots of wild animals. Let's see if I can get my hand in here without getting bit. This is a coach whip, commonly referred to as a red racer. It is not a red racer, but because of its color and it moves so fast, people commonly call it that. His main form of defense is musk. You can see that bright red color there too. They emit out of their cloaca, or their vent, they emit a musk, a terrible smelling liquid substance. Really, really cool snake. Really fast snake. By far the fastest snake I know of anywhere around here. We'll do as we do with all the wild snakes that we encounter. We'll let it go by some water in case it wants to drink, and then let it go on its way. We encourage wild snakes to be on our property as it's part of the natural ecosystem, and we celebrate that. So, second snake capture this year on the property. This is looking like it's going to be a good summer. We work with people from all over the United States to help with tortoises and turtles. And we had a couple drive all the way from Utah to bring us their tortoise. And here he is. This is Littlefoot, a male 6-year-old leopard tortoise. And Marley and Elijah are just in a different place in their lives. Their lives are going a different direction than what they even thought of 6 years ago when they got Littlefoot, which is completely understandable. Things happen. They didn't feel comfortable with shipping Littlefoot, and so they decided to make the drive, which is understandable. It's not an easy thing to put your beloved pet in a box and seal it up and ship it across the country. But as special as that wasn't the end of it. Within just minutes of being here, Elijah asked me, or informs me, hey, there's a snake coming out of those bricks. Is that supposed to be there? Is that normal? Of course it's normal because we live in the wild. I'm going to put Littlefoot back. This is his new enclosure. And the dog glue is just a temporary house for him. He comes inside, like last night, he came inside where it's warmer, and he will do that for probably another 2 or 3 weeks at least. We will be building him a house now that is his size. We've stopped building tortoise houses until we have the tortoise. So many times we've been told that the tortoise is whatever size, and we built a house according to that, and then get the tortoise and find out it's either way bigger or way smaller. Now, you would think, maybe some of you would think, that being a very small tortoise, it wouldn't matter if it was in a big house. We don't like to do that. Naturally, lots of species of tortoise burrow. And so, as a baby in the womb type of scenario, tortoises feel very comfortable when they're in a smaller space. So when we get a tortoise that's small, we don't want to put it in a big house. Back to Elijah. When he said that there was a snake coming out of the bricks, I instantly started to look for it so that I could catch it, so that I could show them being from Utah, one of our native snakes. And here it is. Now, most likely when I put my hand in here, I'm going to get bit. This is another coach whip, but this is a juvenile, a younger one, and he is pretty feisty. Getting bit is just part of the job. And here he is, or she. I'm not an expert in, there we go, in sexing or determining the gender of this species of snake. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. Now, Elijah was pretty blown away that they had just showed up and he was already looking at a wild snake in a tortoise enclosure. It was actually in the desert tortoise area, the temporary desert tortoise housing. It was a great opportunity to show him and explain and teach him about this snake. A lot of people are scared to death of snakes because they think they're going to get bit. But especially if you're in the United States, the vast majority of snakes that you're going to encounter are going to do absolutely nothing to you if they bite you. They're not venomous. This is one of those. And that was one of the things that Elijah right away asked, is when it started to bite me, is, oh, that's okay, it's not venomous. No, it's not. Now, it's not fun getting bit. Oh, and it can be scary. There you go. You're okay. But people have this fear that they're going to die if they get bit by any snake. And that's a lot of the fear that people have. And it's just, for those of you that don't know what fear is, it is false evidence appearing real. And that's exactly what that fear is. It's false because people think that all snakes are venomous. And to them, it's appearing real because they have a snake in front of them. This snake has on the head a banded black and white pattern, then goes into a brown orange band pattern, and then this end of the body is just a drab kind of olive color with no bands. And so that's really cool. Ouch. It's really cool that this snake has different patterns on its body, because most snakes have really one pattern that's continuous. We have shown this guy water and he didn't drink, which is not uncommon. So we are going to let him go. But before we do, if that wasn't cool enough, I'm going to safely secure him for just a minute. So this couple has driven all the way from Utah to trust us with their beloved pet. And within 5-10 minutes, they see a wild snake. This is going fantastic. This is cool. Life is about experiences, and we really don't want to experience or have bad experiences. So this was going great. As we walk around the tortoise enclosures. Another 20 minutes or so goes by, and Elijah says, hey, there's another snake. And this one was actually in one of the sulcata enclosures. And this one, I have to admit, it seemed like this one kind of made Elijah nervous. Maybe you can see why. This snake looks really close to a rattlesnake. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, there's a video about the rattlesnake imitator, and that is this snake. That is the gopher snake. This is a beautiful specimen. A relatively young snake, but very healthy. No scars. When snakes eat live prey, as that prey is alive, it tries to fight for its life. And it's very common for snakes to have scars on their body from, say, a pack rat or whatever they're eating, a mouse, biting them as it's fighting for its life. This snake doesn't have any scars or marks on it. Now, these snakes, this species of snake, has a different color variation, but as I was just saying in the gopher snake, the pattern, unlike the gopher snake, is consistent from the head all the way to the tail. So it really has one pattern, and that's what I really find so cool about the coach whip snakes, is it has a different pattern, not something commonly found in snakes. This guy too, we've shown where some water is, and he didn't seem very interested, and so we're going to let him go. But I wanted to share this with you. This is where we live. One day of being outside and working with the tortoises and turtles, and we came across 3 wild snakes. Now, some people would say, wow, that's just crazy. How scary. No, it's absolutely fascinating. It is a joy to share our day with the animals that we share this world with. A lot of people get the mentality that we are some singular species and we don't have anything to do with animals. Well, we're an animal. And so we celebrate interacting with the other animals that we are on this planet with. Now, we do have rattlesnakes, and we've caught them on the property. But we are the rattlesnake, I don't want to say removal or emergency, but if you were to call animal control and say you had a rattlesnake in your cabinet, we're the people that get called. So for us, the rattlesnakes on the property aren't as scary as they would be for most other people. We feel, and we say it a lot, that with great power comes great responsibility. And with us having the knowledge on how to safely remove a venomous snake or handle a venomous snake in a closed space, we go to some pretty crazy calls where there's not a lot of room to work with the snake, and I have to put myself in a position that I've got to try to stay as safe as possible, but I also got to be able to keep either the residents or the pets of that place that I'm at safe. So the rattlesnakes on the property to us is not as scary. Now we worry about we have a potbelly pig. We worry about her or our dog. And so, hey, we're not super happy like, oh, yay, we just found a rattlesnake on the property. But we don't really do anything to discourage them. We don't kill any rattlesnake we see, and there's really not a whole lot we can do about the snakes being here. Us having the tortoises and just a large amount of excess food, we say that we would rather waste $5 worth of food than have a tortoise just want one more bite. So we feed our animals very well. And with that, there's bound to be food that's left over. And so we have a growing population of pack rats, kangaroo rats, mice, squirrels, rabbits, cottontail, and jackrabbits. And so with those prey items being abundant here, it's going to naturally draw in snakes. So it's just something that we're aware of, something we look for, but a really, really cool thing to share with you guys on how much life there really is here. It's not just us and the tortoises and turtles. There's so much more that happens in the desert. So much more. And if you just stop for a minute, pay attention and look, you'll see that there's a lot going on. What a cool summer it's looking like it's going to be. What an incredible day. A family brings their, or a couple, however you want to label them, I guess, doesn't feel right or sound right, but whatever you want to call them. A couple comes and is in really a sad state of mind. They're having to give up an animal they really, really love. And then to encounter 2 wild snakes and get a tour, it kind of changed the mood to where it wasn't as sad. So what an incredible day. You ready to go back? Do your thing, huh? I'm sitting here. This is Bowser. She's a 4-year-old female sulcata, and she's in the enclosure next to Littlefoot for right now. She's just learning to be comfortable here and learning what the routine is. It takes quite a bit of time for tortoises to get comfortable with changes and new things. And even as great as we try to do things as far as feed them every day, water, soaking, and having a life, it still takes a couple weeks at least for them to become comfortable. Well, I've got to get to my tortoise chores. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. And until the next video. Hey, Tim. We're just going to let this guy go, okay? It's all right. Here. Maybe he wants to go under the fence. There he goes, Tim. Yeah? Just go back to eating? That's a good boy. Well, hello, Bomber. Hey. Because you're so fast, we'll just let the fast guy go in here, huh? Huh. We'll just let this fast guy go. Oh, there you go. Now, for some of you watching the video, you might think, what in the beep are you doing? Why are you letting those snakes go, those wild animals, in those tortoise enclosures? Well, these snakes came from these enclosures. These tortoises live in these snakes' environment. Here, we'll let them go this way. Come on, Bomber. Come this way. You're stepping on Mom's feet. There we go. And away he goes. He's actually right next to Bomber. Or Bomber. He's right next to Mo. It's okay, Mo.